Okay, so I haven't done a video for quite a while and I really didn't intend on doing one today, but I came out to fix our roof vent because I was fitting solar panels to the roof a while back and I rested one across the top of our vent, which is the one in the toilet. This is an X15B. And little did I know it was open probably that much. It didn't look like it was open, but when I rested the solar panel on the top of it while I was doing other stuff, I heard a massive bang and it snapped the little fitting that's up inside it. And I thought, well, surely I can design one of those and 3D print it. But when I was talking to a good mate of mine, Steve Herrick, who's smarter than me when it comes to design, he said, oh, well, I've already been there, done that. And he'd designed one. So he sent me the file and I printed one out of ABS plastic, which is here, which perfectly aligns with the broken piece inside the vent. I'll show you that in a second. But when I pulled the mesh off, and I'm just going to flip cameras around here for a second, I started by pulling this mesh off, which is the first one you come to, and as you can see by the water on the floor, I wore a bit. It was dripping a little bit, and it used to sort of drip a little bit if it rained, but I pulled that off and a bit of water came down. And then as you can see by this next one, I pulled that off and I reckon I wore a good 100 ml of water and it was all down my sleeve. And we're lucky this is not smell-o-vision because it stinks, which would explain the smell that I've been trying to find in our van. And it's now, as you can see up here, it's wet. So the job has gone from replacing this little piece here, which you can see up in there is the bit that I broke, and I will still replace that, but it's now gone to, I've got to cut this out of the roof and reseal it. Clearly there's water coming in through there. Well, it's coming in from somewhere, so I'm assuming there. And on the roof there's the standard tons of sealant. So I thought, well, it doesn't look too dissimilar when I fitted the DRS over there. It's a very similar style of fitting. Just a sleeve down in the roof, cut the hole, except Austrac have used way more sealant than I have, and on the roof, that looks terrible. So I thought, well, I'll get up on top. You can come with me. We'll pull the roof vent out. So if you're ever thinking about doing it yourself, you might go, all right, well, that's not too bad. Or I might prove that wrong and it might be a real dog. I'm not sure, but we'll go and pull it out. I'll take you on the journey and we'll see at the end of the video whether that's a job you want to tackle yourself or not. And we'll go from there. In full disclaimer mode, I've never done this before, but I am a qualified mechanic, or was in a past life, and have a bit of a clue. But I've spent about 50 bucks on bits and pieces, some sealant, some blades from Bunnings, and I think that's about all I'm going to need. Some sealant, some blades, just to break the sealant. Then I'll clean it all up, put it back in neat and tidy, and time will tell if it leaks again. So let's go and get it out of the roof, which means we've got to get up top, and we'll go from there. Well, this is the roof vent on the top. That's the broken bit in there that I originally went to fix, which I will still fix. But as you can see, there's lots of sealant here, and I won't really know what that looks like till I pull it all out, but there's lots. And the tool I've bought for the job is just a Trojan blade. So we'll see what that looks like, see if it gets the job done. So, if I can make this work, there we go. I'm literally just going to slice in, and this is nice and sharp. I've just bought it brand new, and I'm trying not to do any stupid sudden movement, which will see me fall backwards off the roof of the caravan. But as you can see, that is slicing through quite nicely. I really don't know. Oh, there we go. Wowzers, that is a lot of sealant. All right, so yes, I am crawling on the roof. It's strong enough. So I'm pushing the blade all the way in, trying not to shank myself in the process. And I will clean all this excess off. Ooh, that's coming off. How about those apples? So it really hasn't taken long. The key, don't waste your time with a blunt blade. Get a really nice sharp one. I've literally done this edge and this edge so far. I'm going to shift. Oh, whilst trying not to fall off the roof. I'll give you a... Alright, so there's a lot of sealant there, but it doesn't even... Oh, it goes in a long way. So I'm still trying to break things free. Kind of feels like I'm having a win. Yes, I don't like cutting towards myself either. Oh boy, okay. I think we might be on a win. I haven't broken the sealant all the way around yet, but I am close. More sealant. Oh, gee whiz. You never have enough. Right, so it's still holding on at the corners, front and back. Ooh, I think we might be winning. Well, that wasn't helpful. My blade just broke. In the words of Foghorn Leghorn, lucky I have a spare. That was easy. Right, let's try again. Oh, it feels like there's a lot of sealant on this back piece. That's not enough. Well, plenty actually. Alright. Where's my water? I don't know how water can possibly be getting through that. There's enough sealant in that, fair dinkum. But clearly, I'll move this out of the way. That's off. I'll bring you in. So this is the underside of it. There's literally no rubber, but loads of sealant. And I can't really see where it's leaking. But I can assure you it has been. And yeah, I don't know. So now, off of all that sealant, which won't be too hard, I'll show you the next tool in the arsenal to get rid of that. And then I'll save you the boredom of me cleaning that up. And we'll do our next bit. All right, next tool in the arsenal is a little scraper blade. Once again from Bunnings, I guess Bursons or any one of those that have it. Just a single-sided thing. Fresh blade. And off it comes now. You can see it's also digging in a little bit on the corners, but I'm not going all the way out here. I'll actually wipe all that off with wax and grease remover, but I'll save you the boredom and I will get on it. All right. Literally 5 minutes later, not even that, that's wiped off. I've still got to clean it up with wax and grease remover, but that little blade is the jigger. Just go gentle, and there's a few little nicks and scratches in the white, but they're all under where the frame's going to be anyway. You'll never see them and they'll be covered by sealant. Plus this is an aluminium roof, so it won't rust, not going to hurt anything, and if you really want, paint it. But it's not so hard so far. Well, this is one of those damn it moments, because I now know where the water leaks are coming in. It's cracked there. It's cracked there. It's cracked there. It's cracked there. That's not from the solar panel, that's from, it's been leaking for a while. It's obviously just degradation over time. A bit sad. And I don't think I can epoxy that up, to be honest. And for the time it had taken, it's probably not worth it. So online I go to buy another roof vent. So here we are a few days, well, a day later and a few dollars shorter, and we found a place in Dandenong that had one in stock. So we did a bit of a drive yesterday and went and got it. So I know there'd be some of you that'd be sitting back ready to get on your keyboard and go, you broke that when you were pulling it out. But those cracks, if you look at the video, had lots of brown staining on them, and those cracks have been there for a while. So it wasn't the way I pulled it out, it was just where my water was coming from, really. So we're going to now, I'll finish cleaning this off. I won't bore you with the details of me cleaning it. I am going to give it a good wipe over with some wax and grease remover, which I talked about yesterday. And once I've cleaned that off, I'll then go through the process of gluing it back in, making sure everything fits. I could have jumped online and bought one of these that had a light in it. It was about 150 bucks. This was 150 bucks. It was the same price, but I wanted to get the job done this weekend. You can see my location's changed as well. I dragged it into the shed last night so that it wasn't sitting outside in the weather with a big hole in the roof for all sorts of things to crawl through and moisture. So it's in a different location, and I'll get the job done now. I'll get it cleaned up and I'll turn the video back on and we'll go from there. So this bit is just elbow grease, wax and grease remover, and on the rag, this is the tedious bit, but the wax and grease remover actually dissolves the silicone slowly, or whatever it is they'll put on the roof anyway. Slowly dissolves it, so you don't want it to be in big chunks, which is why I scraped it away with a thin blade. And I'm nearly done. Got a few spots to go, but it doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to have sealant go back over it. Then I've just got to connect the 2 wires up that I cut to get my old one out, put the new one in. So I'll keep scrubbing away. Okay, so this is the new cover. It's just sitting there. I've just taped around it so that I don't have sealant going everywhere. And I'll get it sort of as central as I can. I can clean it up afterwards. It's going to be a little bit of a pig. It's not the same, exactly the same as the original one, but it's not as broken as the original one either, so it'll be fine. I'll put this down, get some silicone on it, and then I'll just clean around the edge there with some soapy water, which I better go get, and maybe an ice pole stick, so I better go eat one of them, and it'll all be good. So I'll start sealing. All right, got my icy pole stick. There are a few ice cream headaches in that, eating that quickly. This is not a cup of cordial. It is soapy water I'm just going to use. And the bottom of this, as you can see, just has a slot going all the way around the edge. And I could probably get away with doing like a foam tape sealant, but I think that would eventually let me down. So I'm just going to put a good thick bead of Celastic Sikaflex, in there. If it squeezes outside, it does, and I'll clean it off. If it doesn't, I'm not worried because it doesn't hold the whole van together. So I'm going to give a really good thick bead in here so that it does touch when compressed and seals it off, and I will seal the outside edge a little bit as well. But I'm not going to go stupid with it as some may have previously done. But that's my plan, just a solid bead in there, and then I'm going to put it in and then screw it up from the inside. So that's what we're doing. That's a good thick bead all the way around, but not stupidly thick, but thick enough. And now, without dropping it, I'm going to carefully place it. I know that's good because I can feel that bedding in, which is just what I wanted. A little bit of ooze coming around the outside, even better. So I'll go and bolt that in, and then I'll clean up out here. I've got a bit of time. You can see it's a little bit stained and stuff on the inside. Once I've put this up here, once I've done all that, I'll tidy that up and it'll be good. So I better get busy. All right, so that's in. I'm just going to put the mesh on, and I think a bit of polish to clean off the old marks, clean it back to white, which won't be a problem. Fan works. Beautiful. It's all good. Just got to put the mesh in now and then clean up the top. Alright, so screen in, handle on, not cleaned yet, but it will be shortly. And I'm just going to put some caps in the screw holes now to go up and tidy up the top side. Alright, you can see at the top, got a bit of ooze, more so in some places than others, not so much around the back. Haven't really looked around here yet. Yep, a heap there. So, this is where we get our icy pole stick and scrape. I'm not too fussed because I am going to smooth it off in a second. And I'm not too fussed about having it all the way around the corners. I'm just going to come back here again because I'll pull all the tape off in a second and then I'll smooth it over with my fingers. And I'm just going to have to put the camera down. All right, now, while it's smooth, we'll just go and drop that somewhere. Somewhere that I won't tread on it. So now, to finish up, literally just and then give it a wipe and job's done. So do that dirty patch there, but it'll get dirtier. So that's now in, and as you can see, nowhere near the sealant that Austrac had, but it is sealed all the way around. I can attest to that. But should have been like from the factory, really. And the job's done. Now I just got to do a bit of a clean up and I'm finished. All right, I just went back and did around the edges a bit better. Just wanted to seal. There are a few little gaps, but it's pretty good now. I've just got to give it a really good clean. You can see there's some scrapes there from where I had to clean off the other stuff. But to be honest, I think when I looked at the standard job that's been done on my aircon, it's not too bad. So there you go, that is, I've just got to clean it all now, which I'll proceed to do, but that's in, it's sealed. Cost me about 150 bucks and 5 hours of driving, but job done, new roof vent.